The Radio Memories Network is brought to you in part by Liberated Syndication, podcast publishing made easy, libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN.com.
Welcome to the Old Time Radio Network Comedy, continuing America's love affair with comedy and those lovable characters that made us laugh. We now go back to the early days of radio comedy and our imaginations with our featured comedy presentation.
I was on lots of Jack shows, and I still don't believe some of the things I did to him.
So let's see what this is. This is a telegram from my closest friend, George Burns. It says, "Dear Jack, this is a talking telegram. Hold it up to your ear and listen carefully." Talking telegram? Never heard of such a thing.
Only an idiot would stand before 40 million people holding a telegram to his ear.
Look, if everyone else could drive him nuts, why shouldn't his closest friend? I shouldn't have done that. I'm ashamed of myself. But Jack got even with me. How he talked me into this one, I'll never know.
I'm glad that's over. Hey, Neptune, I'm not through yet. Are you through? Almost. I guess when your plumbing gets old, you keep going. Hey, watch it. It's not me. It's from that fountain across the street. Oh, yeah. Hannibal and his elephants. Rome should be ashamed of itself with that water. Make me sick. Could be worse. We could be standing somewhere in Tijuana. Between the water and having to look down at those coins in the fountain is driving me crazy. Hey, Neptune, guess what? What? Come Friday, I'll be 500 years old. Androphany. You're 500? You don't look a day over 380. Are you kidding? It's been that long since my toes fell off. Well, you've been here as long as I have. You'd be surprised what you can get along without. I hear that Hercules over there just lost his nose. Lucky him.
It's boring standing like that. So after a while, Androphany started to sing, and Neptune couldn't take it.
Don't go hunting buzzing. Oh, honeymoon, shine on in June. Oh, hear me tune, this lovely tune. Trees and bees are sighing and drying. It's lovely, let me spread your bright. Oh, honey bee, be sweet to me. My heart is free. Here's the key. Lock up your garden gate, honey. I know you'll wait under the rambling rose tree. Pick the pinky pepper for your pupper's fly. Beg a burning blossom for your precious fly. Rotten like a flower. Crushing me.
Classy finish, huh? Can I tell you something? Those pigeons were not well trained. You're going to see a thing I had the most fun doing on a Benny show. 2 bushels in effect. By the way, Gregory Peck is a Tolbert.
Hurry, I can find
from afar will be shining just for you. My heart is deep green sky for you. Birds be singing for you too. I will hum and home to every morning night and noon. Oh, I will long for you.
What is wrong with the girl of today is a problem this world has to face. They blame it on this and they blame it on that, but they don't seem to get any place. It isn't the lipstick, the cocktails, the jazz that causes the girlie to fall. It's the mother who says if you're not home at 10, then you don't have to come home at all. There's many a girl at Whiskey A Go-Go tonight who would have and could have been good. And each one of them is a living mistake of a parent who misunderstood. So make a pal of your daughter, tell her what's what. And don't hide that book on the shelf. For it's the girls who are wise to the ways of the world who make it tough on guys like myself. All the joy that love can bring, we will be remembering. The shadow
believe. I was 94 years old then. And I'm a country singer, too.
Back in 1931, Jack came on an Ed Sullivan radio show with this opening line. Hello, folks, this is Jack Benny. There'll be a short pause while everyone says, who cares? Well, somebody must have cared because in a few weeks, Jack had his own show. And before long, 30 million of us were switching on sets like this one every Sunday to hear...
Hello again, this is Jack Benny talking.
There were some pretty big radio hits in those days. Modesty prevents me from mentioning one.
But Jack, we were all in the top 10. We had to be. There were only 8 shows.
And that's counting Phil Spatoni. But Jack became a national habit with dialogue like this.
I envy you that trip to Honolulu. Are you going to stay there all summer?
I'd like to, Don, but I have to be back by the end of July to start my new picture.
Oh, that's right. That's the one you're going to make with Fred Allen, isn't it?
That's what Paramount thought, but I straightened that out. In the first place, how would he ever photograph that face of his?
What's the matter with his face?
I could talk for an hour on that. Now, do you know, Don, when we were in New York last month, the bags under Allen's eyes looked at Phil Harris's and said, my son, my son.
Jack, who's going to be your leading lady?
Only lovely, beautiful Mary Martin. That's all.
Mary Martin. Oh, isn't that the girl that used to sing My Heart Belongs to Daddy?
Yep, that's hers.
Is she going to sing it in your picture?
I don't know. It's a kind of an old song.
Well, you're an old daddy. Revive it.
Oh, quiet. Have you ever been to Honolulu, Phil?
No, I sure wish I could go. Oh, boy, how I'd like to sit on the beach in the moonlight with a couple of those cute little papayas in my arms.
Cute little what?
Papayas, you know, girls, dames.
Papayas?
Sure. Don't you speak Honoluluan? From the start, Jack had that unique format that kept him at the top or near the top of every radio poll for 20 years.
And what a cast. Mary Livingston, Don Wilson, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, Rochester. Who else had that kind of talent on the show?
And that was Jack's first team. How about all those other great characters like Mr. Kitzel and that racetrack tout? And remember this guy? He was always around to pound Jack down and break me up.
Oh, waiter! Waiter! We'd like to get something to eat. What would you suggest?
Another waiter. I can't stand you.
And, of course, the old guy guarding Jack's vault from the year one.
Oh, who goes there? Friend or foe? Friend. What's the password? Old soldiers never die.
Oh,
Oh, it's you, General Benny.
And the two wacky telephone operators, Gertrude Gearshift and Mabel Flapsaddle.
Oh, what is it, Geisha?
Mr. Benny's line is working.
Yeah, I wonder what the brave bull wants now.
And we can't forget the train announcer.
Train now leaving on track 5 for Anaheim, Azusa, and Cucamonga.
That, of course, was Mel Blanc, who also played Jack's French violin teacher, his parrot, and everything else from that lousy car motor to an English horse. In 1950, Jack went into television, and he had mixed feelings about it.
There were some big advantages to radio. Rehearsals were at a minimum. There were no retakes. You could wear the same suit year after year. What a great medium. Let's see, I was in radio 18 years. I had 3 sponsors and 4 suits. No, I had 4 sponsors and 3 suits. I must admit, I really was worried when I first went into television. I'll tell you why. You see, in radio, the listening audiences created their own pictures. But on television, now let's take my vault. You see, that looked different. My living room wasn't what they expected. I didn't really look cheap. The only true picture was Phil Harris. Who else would lead an orchestra lying face down?
Years later, Dinah Shore, who had been on Jack's first television show, came back and reminisced about it with Jack.
But you know, Dinah, I can still remember those reviews of my opening show. Weren't they awful?
Oh, yeah. Especially that one critic who said, after seeing Jack Benny for the first time on TV last night, I predict he won't last a month.
Well, that one didn't count. It was in a medical journal. But, you see, it was the daily papers that hurt. Nearly every one of them said, Jack Benny opened on television last night and died.
No, the Christian Science Monitor didn't say you died.
What'd they say?
The Christian Science Monitor said Jack Benny made the transition peacefully.
On television, Jack had to lean more on himself and his guests, and the old gang appeared less frequently. But they did show up from time to time, like in this scene at the airport.
I want you to check these bags and make sure they're not overweight.
Overweight?
Yes, you see, you have to be very careful, because when they're overweight, they charge you extra. You know, like 88 cents a pound to Mexico City, that's where we're going, and 64 cents a pound to Acapulco, and 52 cents a pound to Tijuana.
I've got an idea.
What?
You go to Mexico City and send your clothes to Tijuana. This was a Rochester who had recovered from a stroke, but never did regain that great delivery of his. Jack knew it, but he never let Rochester know that he knew it. He continued using him whenever he could. There were other familiar faces at the airport.
Peggy! Peggy, here I am! Over here! Peggy!
Janice Day.
Oh, hi.
Hi, my goodness, this is a surprise meeting you here.
Yeah, what a small world. Huh?
Gee, Janice, it's so good to see you. I can't tell you how many times I've thought about you these past few years. I miss you, kid. I really have.
Hey, Peggy, hey, look who's here. It's, what was that name again?
What is that name again? Dennis.
Hey, what a coincidence. That's my name, too.
Dennis, now stop with that silly talk again. You know my name is Benny Jack Benny.
Oh, yeah. You see, Peggy, I told you he doesn't look any better in person.
And there had to be this character.
Oh, Mister. Are you the ticket clerk?
No, I'm a 747 with a Mustang.
Now stop with that, will you, please? I remember you. Listen, I want my ticket validated. Here.
Well, Mexico City. What are we running away from this time?
I'm not running away from anything. Just validate my ticket.
There.
Right. Hey, wait a minute. I gave you a round-trip ticket. You didn't give me the return here.
Well, you can't blame me for trying.
Frank Nelson, what a riot. And good old Donzy. For a big occasion, who else but Don Wilson to give Jack a proper introduction?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Don Wilson, and I'd like to say what a great personal thrill it is for me to have the honor of introducing the star of our show tonight on his 20th television anniversary. Now, as most of you know, I had the privilege of working with Jack since 1934, first in radio and then on television until he concluded his weekly series. Since then, of course, Jack has kept busy with specials, concerts, nightclubs, and personal appearances. And you want to know something? Not once did I ever hear from him. But Jack's just doing great, and really I'm very, very happy for him. But what about me? Sitting out there in Palm Springs waiting for the phone to ring. For all he knows, I could be starving. Well, I'll admit Jack has a lot of talent. But there is such a thing as loyalty, devotion, a spark of humanity.
What is it? What's the matter? You're supposed to introduce me, that's all.
Introduce yourself.
Of the old radio gang, the only one missing was Mary.
Jack begged her to come on, but all those cameras made her nervous.
Really? I thought she just didn't dig working for scale.
Well, that too. Anyway, one time Jack tricked her. While the show was going on, he called her at home.
Hello?
Mary, who were you just talking to?
Nobody. I told you 1,000 times for $2 more we can have a private line.
All right, I'll think about it. Now, aren't you sorry you're not on my show?
I don't know. I'm not watching it.
What? Mary, I know you're too nervous to be on the show, but what excuse have you got for not watching it?
Because you're too sneaky.
Now, what is that supposed to mean?
It means that if you knew I was watching a show, you'd have hidden a camera in this room and I would be one of your guests.
Oh, how can you say that?
How about the last time you asked me to be on your show? You sent me a painting of Betsy Ross making the American flag.
For what? That was a gift. What are you laughing at?
Some gift. Betsy had a camera hidden under the flag.
Well, it looks like Jack had the last laugh.
Until he got home. What about Phil Harris?
Oh, Philzy came on one show, and it was quite a reunion until he started to sing That's What I Like About the South. Jack ran out and told him he couldn't sing that song. It made no sense. Phil insisted that it did. Jack told him to continue. He'd prove that it didn't.
Here's some old Bob with all the news, got the box back coat and the button shoes, but he's all caught up in them union dues. That's what I like about the South. Here's some old Roy. Roy, what happened to Bob? He's never up and see. He would rather sleep than eating, and that's what I like about the South. Tell you what place called Doo-Wah City, well, it ain't no town, it ain't no city. It's awful small, but awful pretty will do. Wow, City.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! That's the one I've been waiting for. That's the one I've been waiting for.
That's the one he's been waiting.
That's the one. Doo-Wah Diddy. Okay, fellas, bring it in.
Bring what in?
Bring this map in. Bring it in. I want to prove something. Now, Phil, here is the latest map of the United States. Look at it. I want you to show me one place on this map where it says Doo-Wah Diddy. That's it. I can see Walla Walla, Muskegon, Ashtabula, Waxahachie, but where in the name of Aristotle Onassis is Doo-Wah Diddy?
Well, I just told you.
You told me what?
Here's what I told you. I said, did I tell you about the place called Doo-Wah Diddy? It ain't no town. It ain't no city. It's awfully small, but oh, so pretty.
Don't describe it! Just tell me, where is it? What is it? Is it a real place? Look, what is it?
What are you talking about? You think I'm nuts? When I'm telling you stuff like this, it's not a fig leaf of my imagination.
That's figment.
Oh. Get this thing out of here.
Just answer me one thing. Listen, I don't care. I want you to answer me one thing.
What?
If Doo-Wah Diddy ain't no town and ain't no city, what is it? Is it a hamlet? Is it a village? Is it a gas station? Is it a washing machine? What? I defy you to answer me.
You know I love you when you get mad. You know the blood's almost up to your chin.
Answer me one question. Where is Doo-Wah Diddy?
Jackson, I can't tell you.
Why not?
Then Alice will know where I've been for the last 4 months.